Welcome back to a video here at Euphoric Sports, and today we're going to be ranking the top 6 plus 1 January transfer window. Yes, why I'm saying plus 1 is because I believe there's one team in the Big Six that is kind of falling out of the Big Six, and there's a team that's really rising up to the occasion and making themselves a Big Six team, and I decided to just put both of them in respect to both clubs to see what happens in the future. But as of right now, we can't really take out or put in someone from the Big Six, but I'm just going to put both of them in this video. Now, I'm going to start off with the worst and end off with the best. So that's how I'm going to rank them, the 7 teams, starting off with 7, and then I'll go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'll be rating them 1 to 10 as well. So let's get started with the worst team out of these 7 that had a January transfer window. The worst one was Man United. I'm going to give Man United a solid 3 out of 10. Yep. What they brought in was Weghorst on loan, Sabitzer on loan, Jack Butland on a permanent. What they let go of was Tuanzebe on loan and Ronaldo for free. Now, you might be thinking, why is this the worst transfer window out of these top 7 clubs? Well, when you get rid of Ronaldo, I'm not going to get into why, if that was right, if it was disrespectful, but when you get rid of Ronaldo, I believe you're going to replace him with the younger guy that you'll see at Man United in 5 years. Because you're not going to see Ronaldo at Man United in 5 years. But you bring in Weghorst to replace him. I don't believe that's a great move. And it's on loan as well. I know it's a stopgap thing that you're going to buy someone in the summer. I understand that. But I believe the rest of the season, you really would have had a better chance with Ronaldo. I understand he did the interview. When he did the interview, there was no chance he was going to continue at Manchester United. But I believe some things were provoked. But I believe Ronaldo would have been a better option moving forward for the rest of the year. Contracts up anyways, instead of Weghorst. Because I believe you had a 2006 BMW with Ronaldo. It breaks down sometimes, yeah. But when you're riding it and it's all good, it's a hell of a ride. And it's not much rides better. But what happened was Man United said, you know what, I'm going to sell the BMW for basically nothing. And I have enough money to go buy some other car that would be a better ride, that will give me a better, enjoyment when I'm driving it. And you know what they got instead? A 1990 Civic. What? It still breaks down. It's not as better quality. And that's what they replaced him with. Now, the Sabitzer thing was actually a really good move. I'll give them that. I think it's a great move, and it wasn't going to happen if Eriksen didn't go down. And if Eriksen wasn't down and Sabitzer comes in, I would give this a better rating, but this is basically Eriksen's replacement in my eyes. And he's on loan. It's not much of a move. The Jack Butland, it's a backup goalkeeper. You still got Dean Henderson on loan, I guess, but it's not much impact for the rest of the season. Now, that's why I got him in last. The whole striker thing, you got Marcus Rashford that's firing on all cylinders. The Martial thing is killing him. Jadon Sancho's coming back. Mason Greenwood, I have no idea what's going on there. You got Anthony, jury's still out. But I just believe they should have gone out and got a striker that you could possibly see in the future. One that I really think United would have loved to have was Vlahovic. And then the owners were like, they weren't going to make any big moves because they're going to sell the club. And now things are coming out that the owners are probably not going to sell it because they think they'll get a lot better value if Erik ten Hag's United starts, developing into a bigger thing, and they think the price of the club will just skyrocket and they're going to keep a hold of it. So they don't buy anything and they kind of restrict Ten Hag. I'm not going to lie. I'm not the biggest Ten Hag guy, but they're really restricting him. And I believe if he gets top 4, it's a phenomenal job from him, because they're not really supporting him in the January transfer window. And I know he did get a lot of money. I've been one of those that have been saying he's gotten a lot of money already. But if you're looking at Chelsea, how much they've spent, Man United is a bigger club than Chelsea. They should be spending at least one big transfer. And I believe a striker would have been it. And that's what they should have done. The minimum. If Chelsea managed to get 3 players on every position now, Man United has the money for one big striker. And it should have been Vlahovic or Ostenheim, one of those type of strikers, but they don't, and that's why I give them the lowest rating here at 3 out of 10, 7th on the ranking. Let's move on to number 6. Number 6 is Manchester City. They didn't really bring anything in, but they let go of Joao Cancelo on loan to Bayern for the rest of the year. Now, you might be seeing, sometimes less is better than more, which is an actual factual statement. But here, no need to let him go to Bayern. I understand he had that problem with Pep Guardiola. He was mad that the youngsters playing over him. He's not getting enough playing time. He started 3 games out of the last 10. He had a little disagreement with Pep because he didn't start against Arsenal in the FA Cup, and you let him go because you don't want that distraction when you're chasing down Arsenal. And they let go of Joao Cancelo, and that's really all they did. They bring in Perón, 8 million, not really gonna impact the squad. Now you're really gonna rely on a youngster in Lewis to play the rest of the season, be a factor in the team, and I believe no. I would rather have Joao Cancelo. I understand Joao Cancelo isn't a better defender, but on the ball he's phenomenal. He could really help out City. But we'll see how that goes. I think that's really going to hurt Pep Guardiola going into the future. I think this could leave him possibly trophyless. Yes, this is a big thing there. Right there, you just said get out of the club rest of the season. You understand? And now he's going out there giving sneaky disses to to City, saying, yeah, I'm here at a club with a lot of history. City fans, I would not be happy with Joao Cancelo, and I'd look to sell him after this season. Now, this leads me to the next one. Spurs, 5 out of 10. What do they bring in? Danjuma and Pedro Porro in. 2 wingers, decent. I'm not going to lie, decent. Gives you options. I believe the Heung-min Son being off form has really just affected the squad. And they bring in 2 guys that are options. You got Kulusevski, who I believe is quality. And you get rid of Bryan Gil, who basically Tottenham bought him and now are loaning him. So they bought him to loan him back to Sevilla. Awful business there. They also get rid of Doherty on a free to Atletico, and they get rid of Spence. Those are 3 players from a transfer window very recently that just didn't work out, and they gave up on them straight away. And they got 0 back. £0 for it. That's absolutely horrible business in my eyes, and I give it a 5 out of 10 because I do believe what they brought in was quality. Danjuma's decent, and Pedro Porro is a decent player as well. So I believe here Spurs really did a decent job bringing in quality, but financially it was horrible. So I give it a 5 out of 10. It's still an F. It's half. You understand? You got a 50%. So you bring in the quality, which is great, but financially it was horrible. So that's why I give it a 50%. Now, 4th, it's a similar nice little rating. It's a 5 out of 10 as well. It's Liverpool. Gakpo in 45 million. Now, I don't believe Gakpo was a position in need of them. I think the midfield is a desperate need for Liverpool. And you got 45 million that's given to you. And I believe you could have done a lot better with 45 million on a midfielder. You understand? Jorginho, look at Arsenal, 12 million. You're telling me Liverpool couldn't have gotten him? I'm just saying. There's a lot of midfielding options that they could have. And I believe right now Liverpool just don't have enough options. They have Fabinho and Thiago are the 2 midfielders right now that I could say are quality and should start every week and irreplaceable. Then you look at all the other options. Jordan Henderson, yeah, he could put in a shift, but you got to have better quality. He's getting up there in age. He's losing his legs. You understand? And then you got Harvey Elliott. I'm not sure if he's good enough to be starting, in big games. My man scored in the FA Cup, and they're saying, Harvey Elliott's back. No, mate. You're going to need another midfielder. You bring in Arthur Melo. My man's just been injured He hasn't played a minute. He hasn't played a minute here at Liverpool. You should have gone out and got a midfielder for 45 million. You already have a striker, Darwin Núñez, who's struggling to have confidence on the pitch. And you bring in another guy in Gakpo, and he's now struggling putting the ball in the back of the net. So you bring in 2 strikers who are struggling to score goals, which is their major job. It's not really good for business. If I were them, I would have gone in and bring in a midfielder that would put Darwin Núñez in better positions and try to help him get his confidence in letting him hit the back of the net. And as of now, these 2 strikers are having a problem doing that. And I believe they should have brought in a midfielder. And that's why I give him a 5 out of 10. What I do like about it is if Gakpo can hit the ground running, he's going to be quality going forward. He's a permanent. That's why I have it a little bit higher than Tottenham. And they didn't really do anything significant letting any players go. They just brought in Gakpo, which is really a player that everyone thought he was going to be headed to United. But he goes to Liverpool instead. This leads me to the 3rd ranked team. This is Newcastle. They bring in Anthony Gordon from Everton, 45 million. I think that's a bit of an overpay. I don't believe he's worth that much. I think that's phenomenal business from Everton. They just didn't really get to replace him. But The money they're getting is great. Anthony Gordon, he wanted out either way. You were gonna get 50 million from Chelsea, you lose on 5 million. I believe it's not that bad of a deal for Everton. Now for Newcastle, mate, you've got a ton of money. I'm sure you can get a winger that's a lot better than Anthony Gordon. I don't know why these owners aren't spending like Chelsea. You're the richest owners in the Premier League. You're in third place. You're there. You're gonna get Champions League football. Why not spend a little bit more money? I don't see why not. I understand, it really relies, if you spend more money than that, it really relies on you getting Champions League, but I'm certain Newcastle's going to get Champions League. They're literally the best defensive team in the league. I saw them against Arsenal. I've seen them against, a variety of teams. When they are supposed to lose, they draw 0-0. That's how they go. And that's fantastic to have, because when you're supposed to be getting 0 points, they're getting 1 point. And that is significant going later on to the season. And I believe they will be getting top 4. I think the team that might fall out is Manchester United, because they weren't backed financially in the January transfer window. And I believe they're a couple injuries away from being a bad side. Yeah, if Casemiro goes down, it's over. Rafael Varane goes down, it's over. Marcus Rashford goes down, it's over. There's no option off the bench, really, that can really replace that player. Those 3 players, if one of them goes down, it really tilts the balance of Ten Hag's football. But, anyways, second, we go to Arsenal. Yes, Arsenal, I give them a 7 out of 10. Why it's not higher? Financially, they did great. 27 million for Trossard, great. 20 million for Kiwar, I believe that's how you say it, the center back from Spezia, left-sided. That's decent business. Jorginho, 12 million, low risk, high reward. Second best transfer window. Why? Well, they wanted to get, their targets were Caicedo and Modric. But you get Trossard and Jorginho. Not bad alternatives, considering it is the January transfer window. There's not a lot available. But you didn't get your main targets, which is something that is occurring a lot with Arsenal, that they want Vlahovic, they settle for Gabriel Jesus. They want Lisandro Martinez, they settle for Zinchenko. They need to start hitting on their number 1 guys. And that was Modric and Caicedo. That's who they wanted, their number 1 guys. And they missed on both. I understand the Modric thing, Chelsea come out of nowhere and just give them offer, a Shakhtar cannot decline. Brighton, they overpaid a lot, and Brighton still said no. I'm not blaming Edu on this, but I'm just saying they got to start hitting on these guys. And if they would have hit on their guys, I would have probably increased them more, but they didn't. They got decent alternatives, though. 7 out of 10 for me. It's passing, it's decent, it's good enough. It will help them try to win the league, but they got to hit on their guys. They're trying to get, their Lamborghinis and all this, and, they're settling for decent Honda Civics of the year, decent cars, but they're not getting their Lambos, they're not getting their Teslas. They are settling for the Honda Civics, the hybrid cars, not the top-notch quality, and that's what's going on with Arsenal at the moment. They want that model over there, 10 out of 10. They want that Sama Ray, they want that Margot Robbie, and you know what? They're settling for, I don't know, maybe a unknown Instagram.ig. Or I'm sorry, I don't even know where I was going with that. That was a terrible comparison. I apologize. That was cringe. But anyways, number 1, it's Chelsea. 9 out of 10. Why is it a 9 out of 10? Well, they brought in a ton of quality. We can't get that wrong. You understand? They actually hit on that. I'm kidding. I'm gonna stop there. But they got all the quality they wanted. They got a lot of depth. They got everything. They said, and then the summer transfer was going to come. But what's the problem? Well, apparently if they don't make Champions League, financial fair play is coming in and busting on them. They are going to get brought down like no other. Cops are going to flood they're going to come and, arrest everyone. Todd Bowley's under the mud. But if they make Champions League, I believe they do end up, getting their there's no problem with financial fair play, but I think it all relies on them getting Champions League, and I believe Todd Bowley has a lot of confidence in Graham Potter in getting Champions League football. But if they do not get it, I believe my mans might get sacked if they get the financial fair play rule put on them depending on the punishment. And it's kind of a task, I will not lie, for them to get top 4. They're going to have to rely on United or Newcastle to really fall off, and they're going to have to go on a run of games. They literally play today, hours from when I'm recording. They have to beat Fulham. They have to start off well. And they bring in a lot. Let me look at this long list of players. They got Enzo, 120, Premier League record free. Mudryk, a hundo. Fofana, it's undisclosed, but it's a high. It's over 50 for sure. Felix, loan, quality player though. Madueke, 29 million, that's good business. Gusto's 27 million, but he's loaned back to Lyon. And they get rid of Jorginho for 12 million. So Jesus, like that's a huge financial fair play, violation. Gotta be somewhere. You understand? People were complaining about City or Newcastle potentially ruining the Prem. Chelsea just did it out of nowhere too. This is a crazy time to be alive because they said everyone's got a price tag with Enzo. They said we'll give you the 120. We don't care. Just let it be in installments. And they said give us a 40 million, down payment. They said why not? My man's treating it like a car payment here. But they paid a lot. I give him a 9 out of 10. That 1 point off is the potential financial fair play. If not, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. If they do not get hit with any financial fair play, problems. So that's just the problem there. Financial fair play is what's standing between a perfect score in the transfer window. They are a world-class side, and if they get to use all their transfers in the Champions League, they could potentially win it. We could see a Tuchel 2.0 with Graham Potter, but who knows? Anyways, leave a comment down below what you think about my rankings and ratings, and please ignore that cringe comparison that I did with the Arsenal transfer window. Ignore it. I'm going to leave it in, but ignore it. But like and subscribe for more videos, and thank you guys for watching.